I don't know about you, Josh, but I absolutely love E3 season.
You know what? It is the best.
It kind of always is. It's kind of an excuse to give in to the thinnest rumors and most unsubstantiated leaks, but that would be missing the point. There is something so stupidly exciting about acknowledging the hype around what is essentially gaming Super Bowl and just going with it.
Well, yeah, because there's always that one franchise or publisher or developer who hasn't updated in what years, and they could come out with the game that you've been looking forward to.
Yeah, like a remaster or a character making a comeback or some new hardware being demoed or some old new IP going console specific.
Let's face it, E3 isn't quite what it used to be. Sony's not there this year, E3 has a limited role, but it is still so exciting, and the game that you want to see revealed could still come out of nowhere.
So all of this just reinforces why you have to make the most of E3 while you can. Now, for all the following examples that we've put together, they're all the right level of no way, but maybe. And that's just what makes E3 what it is. So all of the following are backed up by just enough evidence to feel plausible, and if just one of these comes true, it'll be all we talk about for weeks afterwards. I'm Scott.
And I'm Josh.
And this is E3 2019 10 announcements that would break the internet.
Whoa!
Dude. Number 10, Microsoft and Bungie unite to announce Matter. Just imagine it. We know Bungie have gone independent after a shaky few years under Activision's wing, trotting out disappointing Destiny content with seemingly no end in sight. And we know that Microsoft need a win, or at the very least, they need heads turned their way. Now, I'm not saying that Microsoft will have secured the rights for a Bungie exclusive, but I do think the PR and optics alone of Bungie allocating themselves with Microsoft once again will be one hell of a heartwarming homecoming. Fans over the years have long associated Bungie with Microsoft thanks to Halo, and with a trademark being filed from Bungie for a game called Matter, where better to debut it than E3. Also note that Bungie received a rather sizable $100 million investment from Chinese gaming giant NetEase, quite easily letting them make something that will hang in the AAA space. Now, Matter's trademark was actually filed back in September of 2018, meaning that whatever it is, Bungie have been planning something for some time. As a glorified indie studio with a ton of cash, where do you think they're gonna spend it?
Number 9, Activision Remaster Crash Bash. There's no stopping Crash Bandicoot fever. Ever since Sean Layden walked out to the iconic theme with Crash's silhouette stretching across the stage to announce the Insane Trilogy back in 2016, Activision has attempted to get the former PlayStation mascot back into the limelight, and it's bloody well worked. At the time of recording, the remaster of Crash Team Racing is imminent, which has left many fans wondering if that's the last updated version of these classic games they'll see. However, there is one little title absolutely primed for a comeback: Crash Bash. Though it wasn't a mainline title, the party game was absolutely incredible, allowing you to play as a bunch of heroes and villains from the original games as you faced off against 3 other players. The well of fondly remembered Crash games is going to run dry soon, so there's no better time to revisit this cult favourite. I mean, what else can they do? Wrath of Cortex, Twinsanity, Mind Over Mutant? If any of those get a remaster over Crash Bash, something has gone terribly, terribly wrong.
Number 8, CD Projekt Red make their Cyberpunk 2018 demo public. CD Projekt Red are playing their cards very carefully when it comes to Cyberpunk 2077. Last year, we finally heard that there was a playable build. Only select press outlets were allowed to see it at both E3 and Gamescom. This led to the majority of fans feeling a bit hard done by, to be honest, as they're the ones footing the bill in the end, and they do want to know what they're buying. CDPR relented and released the whopping 48-minute showcase on a Twitch stream, which then got uploaded to YouTube. The devs and PR messaging in general has made a big deal of them taking their time, of ensuring that we don't get a repeat of The Witcher 3's quote-unquote downgrade and all that controversy surrounding it. However, in gearing up for E3 2019, CEO Adam Kaczynski noted that this year's event is, and I quote, the most important in CD Projekt's history. He and CDPR have said that they'll be demoing new sections of Cyberpunk in a hands-off capacity for all those in attendance, but what does that mean for us back home? A playable version of last year's levels to go alongside a release date would be one hell of a combo, especially with Death Stranding now dropping in November.
Number 7, Microsoft announced Scalebound for the Switch. Of all the cancelled games from the past decade, Scalebound is the one that stings the most. One of the most promising Xbox exclusives when it was announced in 2014, the game was set to mix the style of frenetic combat Platinum Games can craft in their sleep with goddamn dragons, which would both factor into the action and could also be ridden around the world. It looked awesome, but apparently the game wasn't shaping up internally as well as the pre-release trailers had fans believe, and Microsoft eventually canned the project. That was the end of it for a while until rumors popped up a few months ago suggesting that Nintendo could be looking to resurrect the game for the Switch. Though it initially seemed like the stuff of fantasy, it actually makes quite a lot of sense. Nintendo have supported other Platinum projects like Bayonetta and have a strong relationship with Microsoft at the moment. Consequently, all the pieces are in line for Scalebound to make a grand return during a Nintendo Direct at E3.
Number 6, Rockstar reveal Bully 2. All eyes might be on GTA 6 after scores of leaks started lining up with interview snippets and various things that Rockstar have said in the past, but I'll do you one better. Bully 2. Thanks to a now-deleted casting call from Rockstar looking to hire college professors and teenagers last October, if Bully 2 isn't coming, just what the hell is GTA 6 turning into? Thankfully, scratch at the surface and you'll find a sequel in development for quite some time. As the original Bully became the center of various controversies surrounding promoting violence in schools or violence against teachers, Rockstar seemed to be playing this one way more carefully. The leaks and rumors show that Bully 2 has had a bit of a visual overhaul. Out are these semi-realistic depictions of character models that we had before, and in is an almost cel-shaded look where limbs and facial features are more exaggerated. Story-wise, we're apparently still playing as Jimmy Hopkins, albeit a slightly older version who returns to his hometown. As you can see, these leaked concept sketches show that Jimmy's dad was actually gay and that homophobia was rife across the town, seeing Hopkins go to Bulworth to get away from it all in the first place. Initially, I didn't see Rockstar writing a Bully game with any real emotional weight, but after Red Dead Redemption 2 truly matured them, there's absolutely a way to have a game about teenage wrongdoings and immature attitudes get supplanted with a worthwhile takeaway message.
Number 5, Simpsons Hit and Run Remake. We're long overdue a new Simpsons game by now. Though the TV series has continued to languish on Fox, the reverence players have for the classic video game tie-ins from Hit and Run to Road Rage to even the 2007 Simpsons game has never wavered, and a remastered collection of some of these titles for current consoles would be an easy win. We know the Simpsons writers are at E3 for whatever reason, which probably suggests something new rather than a remaster. However, while a new game could be announced at the event, there's no reason they couldn't hype players up for it by also delivering a remastered collection of older titles to get people interested. While the biggie is of course Hit and Run, a title which, for whatever reason, continues to be talked about when better games have been left by the wayside.
Give us Simpsons wrestling!
Yes! Wait, no! There's no reason any publisher should stop there, and instead bundle together all of those PS2 era classics.
Don't you like Simpsons skateboarding?
It's better than wrestling.
Oh dear God. Number 4, George R.R. Martin and FromSoftware's collaboration is a Game of Thrones action RPG. This came out of nowhere. As it turned out, George R.R. Martin has been consulting with a Japanese game studio for an upcoming release. Picking that apart, YouTuber Spawnwave had posted about an existing title involving Martin as lead writer back in March, also mentioning that FromSoft were on development duties. This lined up with a tweet from freelancer Liam Robertson, who also back in March stated that there was a bonkers leak involving the studio and that we'd find out more later. Everything was very chin-stroke worthy until notable source Gamatsu appeared to unveil all. According to them, George R.R. Martin and FromSoftware's creative genius Hidetaka Miyazaki are both writing a game together, and it's codenamed GR, apparently standing for Great Rune. Having been worked on for 3 years, Great Rune is apparently an open-world RPG with horse riding and various abilities to collect from specific areas. With Sekiro under their belt as proof of FromSoftware's design being the best melee action in gaming, what better use than a Game of Thrones game where we forge our own path across the known world? Everything about Shadows Die Twice's gameplay would carry over. The specificity of your attack patterns waiting your turn, the burst of blood signifying your blade hitting home. Although an all-new IP would still be fantastic, it's about time we got a Game of Thrones game worthy of the show. And by the show, I mean the first 7 seasons.
I'll kill you! Number 3, Spider-Man 2 and Square Enix Avengers game confirms the Marvel gaming universe. After a long 2-year wait, we finally know that Square Enix's Avengers project, now simply known as Marvel's Avengers, will get a proper unveiling on June 10th. After piecing together a few tidbits from the official blurb, we also know that the game will feature up to 4 players taking control of each Avenger, though the lineup is still shrouded in mystery, with extensive customization options and a cinematic story. While seeing the game in action would be enticing, what would blow everyone away would be an appearance from Insomniac's Spider-Man. It's long been rumored that Marvel is looking to create a gaming universe for its characters, and Sony's Spidey title certainly laid the groundwork for that. There were so many in-universe references to other heroes, including the Avengers themselves, that would make the crossover feel seamless. Throw in the branding of the games themselves, both using the Marvel's prefix, as well as comments back at launch about Spider-Man being the gaming universe's Iron Man in terms of establishing the foundation for a larger world to come, and the stage is set for the webhead to swing into Square's showcase.
Number 2, Switch Online gets all past generation Nintendo games. Okay, just what the hell are Nintendo even doing with the Switch Online service? Initially touted as something that would come with NES games retrofitted with online leaderboards, a setup that would lend you 2 games a month only to replace them across the year, we now have genuinely ancient titles that I guarantee a fraction of the populace actually play. Why, when the Wii U's Virtual Console had everything from N64 to Game Boy Advance to DS and SNES, has this not all carried across? I can understand the monthly fee, as it's just expected that online console functionality does come with a price tag, but the ability to turn this service into something irresistible is right there for the taking. Please, Nintendo, offer your legacy catalog for a set monthly fee, or split it by generation and console. Whatever gets some of the best games of all time on your best console so far kinda has to happen.
Why am I paying for this service? Number 1, Sony streamed PS5 footage during Microsoft's conference.
Ooh, that's good.
Though Sony and Microsoft are professional, mostly banter-free companies, both are capable of throwing some pretty monumental shade at one another. In the heat of the console war back in 2013, just as the big two were about to launch their respective next-gen machines, the competition spilled over into the public eye. As the next Xbox was revealed to limit game sharing through DRM, PlayStation released an instructional video revealing how game sharing would work on the PS4, namely by physically handing a game over to your friend, just like it always had. Scott, would you like to play LA Noire?
No, literally never. It's terrible.
I'll kill you.
Good.
Consequently, while Sony appear to be sitting out E3, there's nothing stopping them from using a stream or, say, a state of play around the event to show off their next console. It probably won't happen, but it would get everyone talking if Sony announced the PS5 on a stream while Microsoft's conference was in full flow, in the biggest dick move of all time. I'm not even sure if I want that to happen, but my god, that would be ridiculous.
And that is our combined list. Let us know down in the comments below which E3 announcements and games that you're dying to see. For now, though, I've been Scott from WhatCulture.com.
I've been Josh from WhatCulture.com.
Don't forget to check out the WhatCulture Gaming Podcast channel, and we'll both catch you next time.
Bye.